I gotta tell you, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous, man. I'm like my breathing is going nuts. My face is all warm. I'm excited and all at once terrified. Hello, everyone. My name is Deckerlink, the trained unprofessional, and welcome back to Adastra. Now, for those of you who don't know why I would be so nervous about this, this is the end of this game specifically, not just in general, but this build, the 16 build, it is the it includes the A ending. It is said to be dependent on certain choices whether or not you get the A ending or the B ending, and they have not finished the B ending. I don't know what the B ending would entail. I don't know if the A ending is good, the B ending is good. I don't know if either one are bad or good. And I have no idea what the choices were that would lead you down one path or the other, and I don't know which one we're on. I haven't a clue. So, whatever happens today is whatever happens. The Patreon text said that this is the update in which we learn to say goodbye. So, let's get into it, I guess. This is good. I actually wanted to talk to you before I leave.
Oh? What about?
Well, first of all, what are you doing here? Cassius steps forward unsteadily, pointing at me, I think. Singer kind of drifts off to the side.
What right do you have to question him, human?
I will remind you, he's drunk. Thus the slurred speech. Alex quickly grabs one of Cassius's arms and tries to pull him back.
Cassius, please. You're acting very uppity for someone who's still considered a pet, even if you did win my brother's favor.
I lean against the doorway, casually smiling. Oh, I want more than that. But if you really want, I can call Amicus. He should have the proper authority.
No!
Alex raises every inch of his fur bristles out. I wait, not saying anything, but Alex also says nothing. Just clinging to Cassius's arm as he stares at me as if just moving will lead to me making good on my threat. Well, then maybe we can start with what it is you're doing here. Last I heard, you were banished from the palace. Cassius steps forward again, still stumbling a bit as he drags Alex along.
Enough intimidating my cat. We are here to claim my father's ship, which we will then pilot to Amorpha.
Alex stares open-mouthed at Cassius, clearly shocked at how quickly his plans had just been revealed.
Cassius? What? Am I saying something wrong? And I consider it your fault as you wouldn't stop pressing the wine bottle to my mouth.
Oh. Whoa. Wait a minute. Did he get Cassius drunk so that he could steal a ship to get off the planet? You righteous unrighteous, you fucking prick. Alex can only stare back at the wolf mouth agape before he snaps it closed and turns to me.
My master is simply drunk, if that was not already obvious. I am perfectly coherent despite my slightly inebriated state. Coherency is not the issue, Cass.
Alex hisses angrily at the wolf before turning back to me, smoothing his fur down.
My master brought me here simply because he wanted to. As his pet, I have no choice but to obey.
I see Alexius's paw grip more tightly onto Cassius's arm, warning him.
Ouch! What did I say about me being sore?
I sigh finally recognize that look in Alex's eyes. So, you were planning to steal the Emperor's ship, which is Amicus' ship now, by the way, just before I was due to leave.
Oh, you're leaving?
Alex isn't even trying at this point. Man, you're a real piece of shit, you know that?
And you're a reckless ape with no consideration for the rest of the galaxy!
I blink in surprise, though I'm a little satisfied to see that I've gotten through this shield of indifference. Cassius, who had opened his mouth to butt in again, suddenly pauses, raising an eyebrow at the two of us.
Wait a moment. Do you two have some sort of history? You speak in a familiar way to each other.
No, Cassius. Only in passing. I remember then that Alex had tried to keep our interactions hidden from Cassius, though not the information I'd unwittingly given the cat during our many conversations. I ignored the wolf for the moment, unwilling to let this traitorous feline get the last word in. And you have no consideration for the lives of anyone on this moon. Turned to Cassius. And how do you explain still wanting to get with this cat when he's responsible for most of the terrible things that happened to us last year, to your family?
Don't talk to him, Cassius. Let's just leave.
No, you're not leaving, otherwise I'm going to call Iamchus. I look at Alex, who purses his lips tightly before turning my attention back to Cassius.
That is none of your concern, but if you must know that Cassius, consider how you would feel left in a position in which the intent of your entire society rested upon your shoulders. You had little choice, while also underestimating Cato's brutality.
Cassius's words are less slurred now. Okay, thank you. The topic of conversation seeming to have sobered him up a bit. He did have the choice to accept his assignment, as he put it, and I think he's smart enough to know his actions would destroy countless lives.
You misunderstand. His choice was an illusion so as to assure the cats, especially the ones giving the command, that they are still grounded by their values. I fully understand this, and so did Amicus when I explained the situation. We have both been left in such positions before.
I shake my head. How can you not blame him for the destruction and death of your people?
William, he is only the stylus. I blame the hand of his government that wielded him like a disposable tool.
Alex is tugging on the wolf's arm again, pulling him toward the main exit.
Cassius, let's just leave.
There's more wine in our apartment, I sigh, realizing that I probably won't ever have my questions about Alex answered, and that he'll probably never get what he deserves. It still bothers me that he got off so easily, that Cassius shields him from any sort of comeuppance. Why do you trust him, Cassius? He's a traitor, but here you are, leaving your empire vulnerable by letting him get close to you, the brother of your emperor. Of the emperor. Cassius pouts, putting an arm around Alexius.
Because we understand each other, William, as you and Amicus somehow understand each other. I've grown tired of the games of politics. I simply want peace with an understanding partner.
By running away to Amorpha. As I heard they despise your kind.
Actually, we're similar in many ways. One being our shared culture.
I try not to roll my eyes at the word shared.
And the other being the fact that the cats now oppose the parents. I believe this can result in plenty of common ground. Come on!
Alex yanks the wolf, making Cassius yelp before stumbling after the cat.
Oh, son of a whore, Alex! You're lucky I'm drunk, otherwise you would have seriously injured me.
Watch the two of them disappear through the exit. Part of me wanting to call security and have the cat arrested for trying to hijack Amicus' ship, which is what you absolutely should fucking do. They admitted that they were trying to fucking steal from the Emperor while trespassing on the fucking in the palace. Basically trying to commit kidnapping of a fucking royal member of the family. What? How are you? What the fuck? At the same time, though, I wonder if it'll do us any good, considering what the cat has already gotten away with. Yes, he's clearly shown himself to be continuing to try to do terrible shit. Yes, he should still be arrested. That's not even a fucking choice. But then again, we just came out of the fucking grid MacGuber, and so we're all mushy-gushy right now. Still, I feel like Cassius seemingly wanting to abandon the Empire, while drunk or not, is something Amicus should know about. I decide that I will tell Amicus, but when we're both on our way back to Earth and he has time to think over what he wants to do about this. Oh, sure, great fucking plan. Why not mention the fucking... the possible theft and kidnapping of a fucking royal family member until after the Emperor has left the building? And the planet, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, that great fucking plan there, guy. This is stupid. As for Alex as a whole, I suppose his motivation and Cassius' willingness to defend him makes a little more sense, but I still don't like any of it. We all have a choice, whether you want to pretend it's an illusion or not. I'm in the process of making my own right now. I head back to our bedroom. I still feel as if I've lived an entire lifetime in just half an hour. So when I find Amicus in the same position on the couch, I practically fall back into his arms. He shifts when I do, then hugs me tight before falling back to sleep. I wiggle myself deeper into his embrace before doing the same, falling asleep almost instantly. Oh boy. The final day. Okay. It only seems like a second passes before I feel myself being moved around. Then I feel Amicus's paw on my head, gently nudging me out of sleep. Hey there, love. It's time to get ready. I stand off to the side, watching Amicus load up the ship while checking various gadgets. Virginia and Neferu make small talk, the kind that makes it feel as if I'm not going away for 8 years, that everything is still normal. Then I have to remind myself that this technically isn't normal, even though it feels that way now. Finally, Amicus walks up to us, brushing his paws together. Well, it's about time we're off. I should be back in no more than 2 days' time, Virginia.
I certainly hoped that to be the case, considering how much work will pile up. I'll try to keep the Empire from rebelling while you're gone, though.
Thank you, Virginia.
And I look forward to our next reunion, William. I hope your experiences contribute to a more disciplined character.
Thanks.
Of course.
Virginia sticks out a paw, and I blink at it until realizing what she's doing. The way I first greeted her, I bend to kiss it.
Goodbye, William.
I step back awkwardly. Bye. Oh, God. And then Neferu pops into existence, I should say. He sticks his his paw sticks out, and I hear Amicus sigh loudly next to me. I don't humor the jackal, though, instead just forcing it into an awkward handshake.
That's a new one.
Another human greeting. I'll have to show you more when I see you next time.
Whenever that might be.
It'll happen. I promise. Never raises an eyebrow at my assuredness, but nods.
Well, here's a Camion goodbye. One between those who are close.
He then leans down, pulling me forward. My chin rests on his shoulder, his paw coming to rest on my head, his cheek pressed to mine.
May Iota be with you on every step of your journey, brother. And may he help you find all that you seek.
I expect to hear Amicus make more noises of disapproval, but it's quiet. I stand there for a few moments, then awkwardly put my hand on the jackal's head, hoping I'm returning this gesture appropriately. I stand still until Neferu lets go and pulls back. Never heard you call me brother before.
It's a farewell normally reserved for siblings. I haven't performed it since I last saw my sister on Camia, in fact.
You see me as a brother.
Close enough. Until we meet again, friend.
Thanks.
And yeah, until then, Neferu.
Amicus coughs awkwardly. stepping forward and putting his paw around my shoulder. All right, see you all when I return. Virginia smiles and Neferu nods as we turn away from them, Amicus leading the way to the ship that's parked on the palace lawn. He jumps in first, then reaching down to help pull me up. As soon as I'm inside, the door closes before I can look back. And here we are again, just as we started. I'm struck by the fact that I haven't been inside the ship since I first got here, yet it's all so familiar. All right, let me make sure we have everything. Amicus walks around to the back of the ship, looking at various compartments, looking into the utility closet that I'd once been stuffed into. He opens the doors to his quarters, doing more checks. I move to the seat that I'd sat in a year ago and look out the window. Virginia and Neferu stand by the entrance of the palace, still watching. I wave, and Neferu raises a paw in acknowledgement. Everything appears to be in order. Come, initiate liftoff.
Liftoff sequence engaged.
Why am I getting so emotional? The ship rumbles. No, there isn't any sound as we begin to lift off the ground. It's a Prius ship. An electronic motor. Amicus sits heavily in his seat with a thump, buckling his seatbelt while I do the same. I watch out the window as Neferu, Virginia, and the palace grow smaller and smaller, along with the entire city of Adastra. It's not unlike taking off from the airport on my way to Rome, though this time is much faster. Before I know it, the glittering city fades into a small, sparkling spot of lights on the globe of the moon. I stare out at Adastra, at the little patches of glittering lights indicating the cities, and at the long stretches of dark blue that indicate the oceans. That's when I notice Amicus watching me closely. What? The big wolf shrugs. Oh, just curious as to how you might feel at this moment. I must say, you seem less stressed than you had been last night. I go back to looking out the window, getting a last look at Adastra, along with the smaller Torque and the much larger Anchorus. I got a feeling those are going to be fucking relevant in the next Adastra project that'll come out later this year. Just the fact that they're mentioned for the first fucking time, seemingly. I guess things just became clearer. Kind of like you said they would. Amicus grins, and now I get the feeling that he knows exactly what I saw.
Sufficient distance achieved. Prepare to enter the stretch drive.
Yeah. Amicus reaches a paw, and I take it. Then you know there is much ahead of us, together. I nod. Too many different emotions conflicting inside me to understand how exactly I feel as I watch Adastra get smaller and smaller. Then it's gone, replaced with warped space and unimaginable distance. Tom Baker flashes in front of my eyes. No, I'm kidding. Don't fade. About 10 hours. That's how much time we have before we get to Earth. We agree to stay up and treat it like having an entire day to ourselves. 2 hours pass quickly as we lie on the cot, as Amicus entertains me with the various foods we have stashed in the compartments along the wall. He brought plenty this time. He learned his lesson from the first time after we ran out and had to rely on less than savory protein mud shake. Savory protein mud shake. As for the space travel food, they apparently can't go bad. So we open every single one, taste testing them and ranking them from worst to best. Amicus is surprised that our rankings are nearly opposite each other, even though I expected it. You're always wanting anything sweet, Amicus. Yes, because sweet is good. This guy and Philip would have such a fight. Sometimes. But I'd rather have something that's salty and savory rather than sweet. But why? It's like dessert all the time. There's a reason dessert is small and comes last, Amicus. I don't see the reason. Never heard of too much of a good thing. If something is good, then there can never be enough of it. That would explain why he has one fang. I'm fucking with you. Amicus flicks around, a round blue pebble-like pellet into his muzzle that I assume is some kind of fruit-flavored candy. I settle with a munching on my salty potato chip-like dried vegetable, finding its head that it's a bit better than most of the bland food on Adastra. Did your parents, ban you from eating anything sweet or something? Amicus pauses in the moment of pouring half the bag into his mouth before talking with his mouth full. Oh, yeah, how did you know? I grimace. So, that's how you ran out of food last time. Amicus chews for a while, then swallows. It's not like I'm always eating sweets. Virginia disallows me from doing so as well. I'm simply taking advantage of not being under supervision at the moment.
Amicus, your consumption of sugars has exceeded your daily limit. A report for Virginia has been filed and will be supplied to her upon landing on Adastra.
Amicus pauses, then shrugs, pouring the rest of the bag into his mouth. Well, as long as you have the parental tech to keep you healthy. We do. Everything in my body is regulated to normal levels once a month. Wow, lucky you. So, I am technically free from any poor choice I make diet-wise. I'm simply kept away from sweets to discipline my impulses. Well, lucky fucking you! Well, that's clearly not working at all. Amicus smirks at me before opening another bag of what looks like candy. I glare at him, then poke him in the stomach, making him grunt. I think you're actually gaining a little more weight. Wolf claps his stomach with a hard smack. This! It's not. It's part of my stature and is important for my center of gravity in combat. Oh, really? I move to sit in Amicus's lap, rubbing my face against his bulk. Yes, you see how handily I handle you when we wrestle. Besides, you like it. I rest my head against his chest, feeling the softness of his strong body swell around me with each breath he takes. He got me there. I listened to the candles. Candles? Oh, candies. I was like, Jesus, candles on a spaceship? Are you trying to fucking burn the ship down? I listened to the candies clack around in his mouth, against his teeth, and against each other. I've been savoring everything about him that I can. Even just the sounds of him eating candy. We sit there in silence for a bit, becoming all too aware of the passage of time. I take a deep breath. So, will we be able to communicate at all over the next 8 years? Amicus pauses, his mood lowering a bit to match mine. That's hard to say. I've wondered similar things, but I have not received an answer. I sigh deeply. Sometimes I hate the parents. Amicus laughs, a stark contrast to how he would have reacted to such a statement a year ago. They are frustrating, to say the least. I have a feeling that we will, though. Yeah? Yes. They work in very mysterious ways. I believe it is clear now that the archives are not their only method of communication. I think the two of us joining together in, say, a dream would not be out of the realm of possibility. Oh, the confidence I'd originally felt while leaving Adastra is fading away at this point. Instead, I feel that familiar feeling of dread and uncertainty take over my mind. I hug Amicus harder, pressing my face into his fur, inhaling the lavender scent. I mumble into his chest. I'm scared. Why is that? There's nothing to be afraid of. Amicus hugs me tightly, nuzzling my hair. Even now, he's managing to hold it together somehow. That actually makes me feel a little grateful. I don't know how I'd be able to do this if he was acting as unsure as I am right now. You know how big of a fuck up I am. What if I do something wrong? Amicus chuckles. I feel that the parents would not attempt this unless they themselves were certain of success. Simply follow their guidance. I'm silent at that, and Amicus knows why. I know that what we experienced with Kata was terrible. That they weren't able to see as clearly. I know that they are much more confident here. I don't know how I feel about being guided by gods that don't know what they're doing. Well, they're not gods, which is why they are prone to mistakes. But the time I've spent communicating with them over the past year has left me a bit more confident in their capabilities. I squeeze my eyes, letting the small amount of tears I had built up get soaked in the wolf's fur so he doesn't see when I look up at him. Why is that? He smiles at me, placing a paw against my head and pushing it back down against his shoulder. Well, they have far more tools at their disposal than we do. I mean, they actually see the future in some ways. If I must trust anyone with my future, it would be the parents. I just don't want to mess up and not be able to see you again. Amicus's expression grows stern. That will not happen. I will make sure of it, no matter what the parents say. But do we even have a choice? Does it bother you that it feels like we don't have a say in anything? These are conversations we'd had before, but for some reason I keep flip-flopping on whether or not I actually have a choice here. We do. We just have the advantage of knowing the alternatives, and that this path is much more desirable. I'm reminded that while Amicus might be more open to criticizing the parents, he certainly still believes in their plan. I don't know if I feel the same quite yet. You saw our future. Amicus pauses, probably wondering if this is okay to share. He seems to make up his mind. Yes. It was beautiful. I worry it's not really going to happen. I've only thought of it now, but what if they're leading us on? I thought of that at the moment, but I wasn't experiencing it, so it was a lot easier for me to think of that. Amicus grunts in surprise, clearly not having thought of that himself. They wouldn't do that. But I suppose there is some degree of trust that goes into this, yeah? We're here because of them. All of us are. And I have to trust that. I sigh deeply. I just wish we could run away to some other peaceful planet or something. But I know we wouldn't be together unless we were meant to do this, so I guess that's partly why I'm going along with it. You know, judging by the vision, I think we will come to believe in our mission over time. I hope so. Amicus slowly pulls me back to lie down with him, both of us lying on our sides as he spoons me. I try to think of something to say. Anything, really. Time is truly running out now, but I still come up short. Instead, I lie back against Amicus, amongst the many silver wrappers of food, listening to him suck on his candies. It's comfortable, and for a moment, I let go of my worries, and the tiredness of the night before catches up to me.
Exiting the stretch drive. Prepare for arrival in 20 minutes.
I come to with a sudden jolt, Amicus jumping behind me as well. I sit up, rubbing my eyes. Wait, already? Amicus sits up next to me, a paw on my back. Are you alright? Damn it, Amicus, we were supposed to stay up! There's a sinking feeling in my chest as I realize we've slept away most of the time we had to travel. Why'd you let me fall asleep? I look at him accusingly, even as my eyes start to blur with tears. Sorry, we were both so tired. You seemed at peace, and I didn't... Ah! I throw off the blanket that Amicus had pulled over us and step out of bed, turning away in case I break down like a little kid. William, I act like I didn't hear him, moving to the cockpit area to look out the windows. Sure enough, we're no longer in the stretch, instead drifting toward a familiar globe in the distance.
Approaching Earth. Will arrive at William's residence in Rome, Italy.
A heavy paw rests on my back. William, we're out of time. The lump in my throat makes it hard to talk. Tell me about it. Slowly, Amicus hugs me. William, we did have time. Several months, in fact. A few hours on a ship is no time lost. Any time is time lost at this point. Amicus doesn't say anything, and I lean my head back against him, swallowing down my bitter attitude because I'm not about to let it ruin our last moments together. Sorry, I'm not ready. I'll be able to come into your apartment. We do still have a bit of time left, you know. I nod quietly, allowing Amicus to hold me for a bit until we have to get back in our seats for re-entry. I feel slightly queasy as we approach Earth at an unreal speed. Quickly spot Europe. The brilliant sprawl of lights spanning the continent as a whole are far more intense than any city on Adastra. Italy's characteristic boot-like shape stands out from the darkness and the seas that surround it. I focus on the glittering patch that I know is Rome, and within seconds we're descending into it. Won't everyone see us? We're cloaked. Oh, how convenient. I trust what the wolf says, even though I haven't noticed any difference. We continue to descend at a rapid pace. As we approach a block of apartments, I grip onto the seat in anticipation of a hard landing, but our sudden yet gradual halt is gentle. We come to a rest on the roof of my residence. You landed on the roof? Indeed. There's no room anywhere elsewhere. Amicus opens the door and jumps out. And again, I'm worried about being seen. But when he helps me out, I realize how dark it is.
Stretch schedule indicates liftoff should commence in 15 minutes.
Another twist in my chest. Did I fucking skip too early? Another twist in my chest, and we're down to literally minutes. Amicus leads the way to a fire escape, and I'm struck by how strange it is seeing my wolf framed by this human world. The sights of Rome, the sounds of distant traffic, it almost makes me dizzy with how familiar it is, despite having been away for so long. Quick question. We've been away for a while. I don't remember the time conversion here, but a human missing, even 2 days after, presumed dead. We were just visitors in Rome. Won't our guest apartment be sold to someone else by now? How will we have a home? Won't there be way more problems dealing with this shit? Anyway, sorry. Amicus stops at a balcony, and I trust that it's the one to my apartment as he boldly slides open the door, apparently aware that the landlord never seems to keep it locked. I step inside, and through the darkness I can see that my personal belongings are gone, obviously. It's cleaned out, and looks just about the same as when I first got here. It's empty, luckily, and I wonder if anyone has stayed here since I went missing. Probably not if there was an investigation. I swallow hard, remembering how much media coverage and documentaries there were about 2 Canadian and British students that went missing here a few years ago, and the coverage of an Australian student who disappeared a week before I arrived. I hope it didn't get the same treatment when I was away, but I get the feeling that I must have. I shake my head, once again wondering where to even begin. I turn around, seeing Amicus standing there, and immediately I get a painful, stabbing feeling between my throat and chest. Oh, man. Oh, man. His pose and demeanor. It's finally reflected that our time together is coming to an end. We both stand a few feet apart, unsure of what to say. Well, yeah. You should tell him because he's gonna come here in fucking 8 years. You won't be here. You don't live here. How will he find you? I suppose we should begin our farewells. Yeah. Until next time, at least. Yes. It will only be a moment in the overall time that we'll have together. Yeah. I'll bet when you come back to get me, we'll be like, wow, it was only yesterday when you dropped me off. Of course. Not even a full day. It'll feel like hours, I'm sure. The parents called it a cosmic microsecond or something. Well, probably a bit longer than a microsecond, though I'm unsure of the length of a cosmic one. 8 years, I guess. I suppose that would be the case. I try not to think about all the things that are going to make me cry. Like the thought of not waking up to Amicus for the first time in months. Or the fact that I won't have someone to really talk to at the end of the day. That I won't have someone who's just genuinely kind and loving towards me like no one ever was before. I swallow the lump in my throat again. No. I'll have time to fall apart as soon as he leaves. I step forward and hug Amicus, burying my face into the warmth of his furry body, breathing in his scent. I'm determined to imprint this moment in my mind, something to help weather what I'm sure will be a hard 8 years. He rocks us back and forth for a moment, kissing my head like he always does. You are more than prepared for this. You're strong. Why else would you have been chosen? Thanks. And you'll continue to be an amazing emperor, Amicus. Here's hoping. I still don't even know what to do right now, to be honest. Like, do I just walk out into the street next? Oh. Amicus steps back, feeling around his cape and trousers. I really hope I remembered. Here. Amicus pulls out a slim silver rod, about a foot long. It's one of those holographic tablets that I see the Imperial family carrying around every now and then, aside from Amicus. I've gotten the impression that he just isn't fond of electronics. The parents have instructed me to give you this. It will connect to your lingua, which will transmit and display information that you might need. Otherwise, all communication will be through the lingua. I reach out, taking it, the cold metal light in my hands. He almost forgot to give it to me. Yeah, I did remember. I sigh, turning the rod over in my hands. You turn it on by tapping the top. I do as I'm told, and the blue, glowing plane slides out from the rod like a page attached to the spine of a book. It's blank for now. Just wait until they offer instructions. Okay. I tap the top of the rod again, and the hologram recedes. Another awkward moment of silence. Then, William, I'm so happy to have met you. And I thank you. You have made me a better man. And though this will be painful, Amicus's voice cracks. His resolve to remain strong finally gives in. I will think of you every day. And we will meet again in 8 years, no matter what might happen between now and then. I will see you again. Oh, he's crying. I don't want him to see him cry. I want to see him cry. His voice is strained as he struggles to get his words out. Then the tears finally begin spilling over. Damn it. Amicus raises a paw to cover his face in frustration, like he actually planned on not crying before we parted ways, and I find that silly, because of course we'd cry. I'm doing the same as I move forward and wrap him up in a tight, almost desperate hug. He crushes me into his body. Oh, not the type of jokes. letting out a loud gasping sob through his teeth as I feel the wetness of his tears land on my head. I love you so much, William. I love you too. Like I've said, he's simply a stone in the way of our chariot's wheel. These years are simply the push, and we'll be on our way again. And things will get easier over time, without a doubt. And remember your ring. Though I might be moving away, I'm moving right toward you from the other side. We are permanently connected. Yeah, the universe is spherical. I don't care about the other theories. We both stand there, holding each other, trembling and sobbing. After a few minutes, though, we both calm down a little, and eventually I hear a calm buzz faintly in Amicus's ear.
Lift us a sequence to be engaged in 1 minute.
Amicus steps back, firmly gripping my shoulders. He's smiling through his tears. And I think we shall see each other before then. Parents are mysterious, like I said. Definitely. William, my lover, my partner, my future husband. I love you. And you know I love you too. Amicus pulls me against his chest again, hard, squeezing me. You will have amazing success here. And I'll see you soon. Very soon. He plants a kiss on my mouth. I have just enough time to kiss him back before my wolf turns away and disappears out the balcony door. I listen to the metallic sounds of his footsteps on the fire escape. Then nothing. Until there's a soft hum that I can only imagine is a ship. Before it's silent again. I stand there in the dark room, feeling a little stunned before moving to turn on the light. I stand there, staring, unsure of how to feel. For the moment, it's mostly just an empty feeling, one that I'm sure will start to ache as I come to realize how lonely I actually am. Without know, I move to the desk, waiting, thinking. Then I set the metal rod on top of the desk and tap the top. The blue plane appears again, and I stare at it. It's blank. I start to wonder if I should keep it open. Maybe I should try to get some more sleep before facing what I'm sure will be a chaotic day. At that moment, though, I feel a twitch in my left eyelid. Then words appear on the blue plane. Proceed to the European Commission's offices. A committee is expecting your arrival in 1 hour and 20 minutes. What? I stare at those words, realizing that I might not actually be alone amongst humanity, having all this knowledge. What? Yo, I never fucking thought about that. I look around as if I have something to take with me. But no, I'm still in my robes. Oh, God. People will probably just think I'm a street performer or a crazy tourist. At 3 a.m. My eyelid twitches again, and a map appears on the screen, showing me a half-hour walk through various alleys and back streets, meant to keep me out of sight, I imagine. That'd be a hell of a way to end this game. Us getting fucking mugged in an Italian street. So with a deep breath, I pocket my alien gadget, preparing myself to begin this journey. I'm scared, but also relieved that things are moving so quickly. And also relieved that this will keep my mind off the separation I just experienced. With any luck, I'll be kept busy enough that I won't have to feel the full brunt of that agony all at once. I look back into the room where it all started, taking a deep breath. I'm actually kind of excited. The thing I'd been dreading for months now has started. And that gives me a boost of adrenaline, preparing myself to face my duty. Then I turn off the light, leaving the apartment behind, ready to start another new life. I'm gonna save real quick before the fucking credits take me away. There they are. Writing by Howley, sprite art and illustrations by Haps, background art by Black Hole Sun. Oh, there's Amicus sitting on the throne looking bored. The end. Can we click? He's got his ring. He's got the ring. Oh, that's good. Oh, hold the fuck. Hold the fuck. There's something. Who the fuck is this person? Who is that? I don't know who that is. I make my way quickly to the throne room, trying my best to contain my excitement. The most difficult part of this exciting new life I have is pretending that I'm not excited at all. So I try to look dignified as I walk into the throne room, toward Amicus seated at the back. Who is this wolf? I stop and bow as low as I possibly can. No need for that. What news do you have, Scipio? Unfortunately, I can't stop the smile from spreading across my face as I hold up the message. The Pharaoh has accepted our request. The diplomatic mission may commence as soon as you're ready, Emperor Amicus. The diplomatic mission? And who is Scipio? What's the... What would... Hold on a minute. Who the fuck was that? The most difficult part about this exciting new life I have is pretending that I'm not excited at all. So this is someone new, something different, someone that Amicus is familiar with. News. Someone who's very happy at delivering a request for the diplomatic mission may commence as soon as you're ready. Now the Pharaoh, the place with the Pharaoh is Neferu's home planet of Camia. So there's some kind of diplomatic mission between Camia and Adastra that Scipio, whoever the hell Scipio is very excited about. And Scipio is some bespeckled wolf with a braid. Didn't they say when we were at the college that there was a wolf with braided hair and glasses amongst the diplomatic team? So this is a character, if that is the same person, this is a character who exists concurrently to the main story, who has been a part of the diplomatic discussions with Camia. So, and they must be excited over a diplomatic mission. And the wording, as soon as you are ready, Emperor Amicus. So this mission must include Amicus in some way. And I would doubt that Scipio would be so excited if it didn't include him as well. So there's some mission that Scipio and Amicus and whoever the hell else is going to be engaging on a diplomatic mission to or with Camia. And we have no clue what the fuck that is, because that's relating to the Adastra project that will be coming out. They project it to be coming out around June. But then again, with the whole world in flux right now, who the fuck knows? Obviously, all things being tentative, that's all teasers for the next one. What about the game that we just finished? I don't know what the I don't know what the B ending will entail. It said it depends on choices you've made. And so obviously I've made whatever choices you needed to make to see the B ending. Or to see the A ending, sorry. So I don't know what choices I would have had to make to see the B ending, nor do I know what the B ending could possibly be, because really there's only been a couple of choices in this entire game. There's been like, do you think Amicus can do it? When you're prompted by the parents, I think they ask us a couple of questions. There's really not many choices in this entire story. So that will make going back and like seeing what different endings you can get be a lot easier. So I don't know. When the B ending comes out, maybe we'll take a look at that. Of course, if it's a bad ending, I don't know if I want to fucking see a bad ending from this. I think this, but then again, I would really just rather see what all I can get out of this game, because this game, other than a branching path ending and any adjustments being made later on or anything like that, typo fixes, there was like one in this entire update. Adastra's done. Hats off in respect. Consistently excellent. I could never have come up with this concept if you gave me 100 years. It's delightfully teasing of various environmental concepts. It's delightfully detailed and enticing to think about all the different possibilities, reasons why not, world building, universe building. So many different things for this universe, and it got produced so fucking quickly. I mean, shit, I've been playing Repeat and extracurricular activities, and hell, even Echo. I've been playing those games for fucking years, man. And then Adastra came along, and I think it was done in a year. I don't remember when the first episode of Adastra came out, but it can't have been more than a year, maybe a year and a half at max. When I first saw the character art for this game, I was like, what the fuck? The art in this game it took a while to grow on me, but it did. It really did. It took a bit. And I don't remember, but like the idea of intergalactic, like, Roman influences, Egyptian influences, Greek influences, like the cats were Greek, like, there's so many enticing thoughts, existential world building, apart from just the romance and the happenings of the first person character interaction in this. And yeah, there are moments where you feel like certain things probably didn't, like, there's only really one example of things that I feel like probably didn't need to be included, specifically the cheating not cheating scene. I don't know how necessary that was to the story. Here's the thing about what scenes need and need not be in a narrative. That was put in, hopefully, with just the author's intent in mind. As such, it's not wrong. Is it necessary? Is it not? Does it help the story? Whatever the fuck. If that's what the author wanted to put in, then it's what should be there. That's my opinion on it. That's how I feel. I don't want anyone creatively to feel like they have to or cannot do or do not something with their fucking creative outlet. But it's also my prerogative to have my opinions on it. So while I will not say they should not have or they have to get rid of it or whatever the fuck. I'll say that it felt forced and unnecessary, but I'm not gonna say, you have to take this out or else it's bad. No, that's stupid and entitled, and people who do that should really get a lesson in fucking social etiquette. The point I'm making here is the sound direction is great, the writing is great, the art grows on you. Look at this fucking background here. This like watercolor, it's beautiful. I'm really looking forward to the new project. And I'm gonna miss Adastra. I really am. So, until the next project comes out, until, if we do take a look at the B ending, until then, until whatever. Thank y'all very much for watching Adastra. And until next time, I've been the Trained Unprofessional. You're not. And I'll see you then. Bye, everyone.